It's my honor to introduce to you our special entertainment for this evening as you guys finish your entrees. Kent Gonsolin is a Cajun comedian who was born in New Iberia, Louisiana, and grew up in, how come he didn't tell me to say this one? Opelousas. I must thought I got it right. Louisiana. He started performing as a Cajun comedian 22 years ago in his hometown of Opelousas. And a short time later, was performing through the South. He is a past champion of the International Cajun Joke-Telling Contest. He appears regularly on several TV and radio programs and has acted in commercials and even in 3 movies. He has also performed at the Mickey Gilley Theater in Branson, Missouri, and has been seen on E! Entertainment Network. He has been written up in numerous newspapers and magazines, and by the Louisiana State Police, I'm told. He currently lives in Baton Rouge and shares his Cajun point of view with audiences at banquets, comedy shows, and corporate events just like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and please welcome Mr. Kent Gonsolin.
How y'all doing? All right, keep eating. Welcome to South Louisiana. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Since everybody but those front tables are from Louisiana, I got to make sure y'all are properly warmed up. Oh, it's in the back, sorry. All right, what I'm going to do is give y'all a few Cajun sayings, South Louisiana Cajun sayings, and I want y'all to repeat after me. You ready? Here we go. Hey! Oh, that's pretty good. Pooya! Y'all doing great. Eh là-bas! On va soigner ton char comme le char de nous autres. Well, y'all did better than the group 2 weeks ago that I had in Mississippi. Oh, they didn't even make it past Pooya, so be proud of yourselves. Look, what a beautiful hotel y'all decided to have this thing in. My God, it's gorgeous. You know what I did? I got here early, and I went down just to check out the hotel. Even the bathrooms in here are beautiful, huh? Look, they got this thing on the wall, y'all. I found this. On the wall of the bathroom, and they free. Look, y'all check this out. They free. You can get as many as you want. Y'all seen these? Y'all, they make the best boiled crawfish eating bibs I've ever seen. Look, it even comes with its own napkin. They free. Get y'all some. They in the bathroom. And then I found they had a health club over here on the 5th floor of the hotel. Man, that thing is nice. I got here early enough. I was going to get a little workout in before. Man, I got to that health club over here. And they had this big old dude in there. He was all full of muscles and everything. It looked like he knew what he was doing. I started talking to him, you know. I said, man, tell me this. Which one of these machines in here can I use to impress the ladies? He said, oh, to impress the ladies, you're going to have to use that one down at the end of the hall over there. I said, the one down there? He said, yeah. I said, what's that machine called? Oh, he said, that's the ATM machine. Oh, and then I found out that y'all had our Lieutenant Governor, Jay Darden, come welcome y'all the other day. That's my buddy, yeah. Jay Darden's my buddy. I've been knowing him for a while. Great Lieutenant Governor for our state. Actually, let me tell you how well I know Jay Darden. I helped him campaign the first time he ran for Lieutenant Governor. I went door to door with Jay Darden. We were going around the first day I was working with him. We got to some door. I went to the first door and he knocked on the door and this woman came out and he said, hello, ma'am. My name is Jay Darden. I'm running for Lieutenant Governor. That woman said, Jay Darden? Jay Darden? She said, I wouldn't vote for you if you were St. Peter himself. And without missing a beat, Jay said, ma'am, if I was St. Peter, you wouldn't even live in my district. And then my buddy Earl Garber's over here, and he's the outgoing president. I found out, man, that's a good dude, Earl Garber, huh? Yeah. I'll never forget the first time I met Earl Garber. I had done a gig for him, the conservation districts in Louisiana, and Earl said, man, Kent, it's great to meet you. He said, let me tell you something, Kent. Anytime you in Basile, Louisiana, I don't care if it's day or night, you come to my house and see me. I said, all right, Earl. About 2 weeks later, I was coming home from a gig at about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was passing right near Basile, Louisiana. I said, I'm going to go see my buddy Earl Garber. I found his house. I knocked on the door, and his wife came out and answered the door. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, is this where Earl Garber lives? She said, yeah, just bring him on in, lay him on the couch. Actually, I think Earl is getting too excited about getting out of this job after this long. He got here to New Orleans kind of early, several days ahead of time, and they took a bunch of the officers out on this bus tour from the hotel. There was Earl going to get on the bus on that tour, but now you know that step on the bus to get on is real high. They had a woman in front of Earl waiting to get on the bus. Y'all, she had a short, tight mini skirt on. That skirt was so tight, she couldn't even split her legs to get on the bus. Man, she reached back and she unzipped her skirt a little bit. She still couldn't get on the bus. She reached back again and unzipped her skirt a little bit more. Now she was trying sideways. She still couldn't get on the bus. She reached back a third time and unzipped her skirt some more. Finally, Earl got fed up. He picked that woman up under her arms, carried her on the bus, and set her down. That woman turned around and pow, slapped Earl upside the head. Earl said, what was that for? She said, that's for being fresh with me. He said, me fresh with you? You just unzipped my pants 3 times. Earl, I think it's time for you to go home now, because let me tell you what else happened before y'all got here. Him and about 10 other men went out in the French Quarter a few nights ago, before this thing started. They were out, man, they must have closed the French Quarter. They were coming back at 3 o'clock in the morning. There was Earl. They went to find, they drove over there, they found a parking lot. Earl was walking around, he was stumbling around the parking lot. Right across the street was the New Orleans City police officer just watching him. Earl went to put his key in the car. He had the wrong car. He went around, he tried 5 cars in the parking lot before he found his car. By that time, everybody that was with him had already gone. He got in his car. He drove out of the parking lot. As soon as the car hit the street, man, that police officer put his lights and his siren on. He pulled Earl over. He made him blow into that bad breath test, you know. Earl registered 0.0. The officer said, this thing must be broken. Oh, Earl said, it's not broken. I'm the designated decoy. Well, I thought it'd be nice to, since most of y'all are from out of state, to give y'all a little bit of Louisiana culture and talk about Cajuns from South Louisiana for a minute. I'm a Cajun. I was born in a little small Cajun town called Lauraville, Louisiana. Not a big town. Lauraville has a population of 1,000 people. Yeah. In fact, Lauraville has been population 1,000 for the last 30 years. Yeah. It's the only town in South Louisiana that hasn't changed population in 30 years. Yeah, you see, every time a woman gets pregnant, a man leaves town. It's a very small, we have one doctor in town, one doctor, that's Dr. Boudreau. Yeah. That's a smart doctor, Dr. Boudreaux. He was going to one of these big doctor conventions right here in New Orleans one time, and they were having all those doctors at the convention, and they were talking about who was the best person to operate on. Oh, the first doctor said the best person to operate on is an accountant. Oh, when you open them up, everything inside is numbered. Oh, the second doctor said that's wrong. Best person to operate on is an electrician. Oh yeah, when you open them up, everything inside is color-coded. Oh, the third doctor said that's wrong too. The best person to operate on is a construction worker. He said they don't mind if you have a few parts left over at the end, you know. Oh, Dr. Boudreaux said all of y'all are wrong. The best person to operate on is a politician. Oh yeah, they have no heart, no guts, and no spine, and the head and the butt is interchangeable. Girl, y'all ain't got no public officials, do you? Yeah, okay. You know, here's another thing about Laurelville, and I'll tell y'all, in South Louisiana, in a small town, you know, you ain't got no private business. We don't mind putting your business out in the street for everybody to know. Let me give you an example. You know, you might go into a Walmart anywhere in America, like Arkansas or Mississippi, and you might hear this, you know. Faylene Smith, come to customer service. Faylene Smith, come to customer service. You go to the Walmart near Laurelville. Betty LeBlanc, call your husband at home. His hemorrhoids are acting up again. Betty LeBlanc, call your husband. It's a hemorrhoid emergency. Now, here's another thing about Laurelville. You know how I don't know, y'all probably don't know this, but every little small town in South Louisiana has a festival, right? We got one town that has the Crawfish Festival. We got another town that has the Sugarcane Festival. Guess what my little town of Laurelville has? The Grobeck Festival. You probably don't know if you don't know what a Grobeck is, let me explain that. A Grobeck is a big migratory bird that flies real low and real slow, and they're very illegal to hunt. But leave it to the Cajuns to have a festival for a bird that gets you 6 months in jail or $500 fine. In fact, they had the news cameras from the big city of Lafayette had come over one time at the Grobeck Festival, and they were interviewing people, and they had Alphonse Boudreaux from Laurelville, and the TV cameras, the reporter came up and she said, Mr. Boudreaux, why do y'all have a festival for an illegal bird? He said, why? Because it's delicious. She said, well, what does the game warden think about that? Oh, he said, I don't know. Why don't you go ask him? Look, he's over there eating a wing. Now, here's another festival that I saw. This is a true festival in South Louisiana. The South Louisiana Shakespeare Festival. Could you see that version of Romeo and Juliet? Romeo, Romeo, where you at, boy? But I'm going to tell y'all the best festival that I know of. In Church Point, Louisiana, they have the Church Point Buggy Festival. Yeah, everybody brings their horse and buggy out. They have a great festival. And I'll tell you, my cousin, Kusun, had a job one time driving a buggy in the Buggy Festival. First day on the job, he was going down Main Street in Church Point, driving the buggy. A truck ran through a stop sign, crashed into his buggy. Oh, it was a mess. It killed his horse, killed his dog. Make a long story short, the man in that truck didn't have no insurance, and Kusun had to sue him. They got into trial. The judge put Kusun on the witness stand. The judge looked at Kusun, he said, you look familiar. Have you ever been up before me? Kusun said, I don't know. What time you get up? He said, no, I'm serious. He said, I'm looking at this police accident report. At the scene of the accident, that policeman asked you how you were doing, and you said you never felt better. You mind telling me why you're suing that man today? Kusun said, yeah. At the accident scene, that policeman came up to the wreck. He seen my horse had a broken leg. He pulled out his gun and shot my horse. He seen my dog had 2 broken legs. He shot my dog. He asked me how I was doing. I said, I never felt better. By the way, I'm very lucky tonight. I have 2 special guests in the audience. My parents are here tonight. Harvey and Loretta, raise your hand over there. There you go. It's not that often that they get to come see me perform, but it's a special thing when they do, so I'm glad they're here. My daddy and mama, that's special people. They Cajuns from South Louisiana. My daddy grew up in the Loreauville area, born and raised there. When my daddy was growing up, he was so far out in the country, they didn't even have indoor plumbing. Yeah, they had an outhouse. Now, I don't want to say they were well off, but they had a 2-holer. One time, him and his papa had gone out to each use a hole. You know, his papa was buckling up his trousers. A quarter fell out of his papa's pocket and rolled down the hole. That was a lot of money to my daddy back then. He said, Papa, you dropped that quarter down the hole. His papa didn't say nothing. Reached in his pocket, he pulled out a brand new $20 bill. My daddy had never seen that much money before in his life. He stared at that thing. His papa reached over, he dropped it right down the same hole. He said, Papa, why you drop the money down that hole? He said, son, I just didn't have the heart to send you down there for just a quarter. My daddy still lives out, my mom and daddy, they still live out in the Loreauville area. They have a nice farm, pretty place out there. And my daddy's smart, though. You know, he's country smart. He's got a beautiful pond way in the back of his property. And he don't go out there much. Last summer, he drove up to his pond. Y'all, there were 3 young ladies skinny dipping in his pond. Man, those 3 ladies saw my daddy drive up. They swam over to the deep end. They started yelling at him and said, we ain't coming out until you go away. My daddy said, ladies, I did not come over here to watch y'all swim naked or watch you get out of the pond. I just came over here to feed my alligator. You know, I don't want to brag to y'all, but I am kind of becoming a pretty well-known Cajun comedian. In fact, I had a big gig just the other day. They invited me to perform at the nursing home in Loreauville. Well, they thought it would be nice to have a local celebrity come back and talk to all the residents. You know, so I got up in front of everybody. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here. Tell me, does anybody know who I am? And one little old lady in the front row said, no. But if you go ask the lady at the front desk, she'll let you know. No, it was a great show. I had those people cracking up laughing. There wasn't a dry seat in the house. You know, I got to meet this woman in the nursing home. Y'all, this woman was in her mid-80s, and she was getting married for the 4th time. Yeah. I got to visit with her, and I said, tell me about your husband, you know. Well, she said, when I was in my 20s, I married me a banker. Then when I was in my 40s, I married a circus ringmaster. Then when I was in my 60s, I married a preacher. And now I'm in my 80s, I'm marrying a funeral director. I said, really? A banker, a circus ringmaster, a preacher, and a funeral director? I said, that's a lot of diversity in your husbands, huh? She said, well, yeah, you see, I married 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. Sorry, I love that joke. My wife and I been married. We just celebrated our 22nd wedding anniversary last month. Yep. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You know, it's kind of tough. See, I'm a Cajun, and I married a woman that's not Cajun. And I'm telling you, you can have some communication problems, yeah. I'll never forget the time I proposed to my wife. You know, I got down on one knee. I said, babe, I want you to be the mother of my children. She said, how many you got? My wife and I have 4 kids. We got an 18-year-old boy, a 15-year-old girl, an 11-year-old boy, and an 8-year-old third-grade girl. You think you're busy? Come to my house. In fact, when Earl Garber called me up, he said, Ken, how much would it cost to get you to come talk at our convention in New Orleans? Oh, I said, Earl, man, that's a Tuesday night. I'd have to leave my wife at home with all the kids, get supper, carpool. I said, I'm sure I can pay y'all at least $100. He jumped on that, too. This is the true story. My 18-year-old son is a senior in high school. He's a kicker on the football team in Baton Rouge, and he just signed to go play football at LSU, the LSU Tigers. So, yes, he'll be... Oh, yeah, we're real proud of him. But it's no surprise, you know, we had football genes in our family. I don't want to brag, but my great-uncle, Onizim Gonsalin, from Laurelville, Louisiana, was the best football player ever to play at Laurelville High School. Played in the late 1940s. Oh, he had all the college coaches coming to watch him at Laurelville High School. And I remember one time they had all them coaches there, and they were watching him work out, and they said, Onizim, man, we hear you pretty good. Oh, he said, Coach, I'm the best. He said, well, can you run fast? Oh, he said, Coach, I run faster than anybody. They timed him in the 100-yard dash faster than they had ever clocked anybody. They said, that was pretty good on his email. How about, can you tackle? Oh, he said, Coach, nobody tackles like me. They lined up everybody on the team. He tackled them all. Nobody got away. They said, that's pretty good on his email. Can you catch the ball? Oh, he said, Coach, nobody catches like me. They threw him 200 passes, caught everyone, one-handed diving catches. Boy, they said that. They called him over. They said, Onizim, that was pretty impressive. One of them coaches handed him a ball. He said, can you pass this ball? He said, Coach, I don't know, but I tell you what, if I can swallow it, I can pass it. My 11-year-old boy, he's in 6th grade. Boy, that's a rascal, him. My son goes to one of the Catholic schools in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's called Our Lady of Perpetual Tuition. Y'all got that where you live, too? Yeah, he's in 6th grade. He got in trouble the other day. At school, on the playground, his teacher got him in trouble, pulled him aside, caught him for making ugly faces on the playground. Oh, she grabbed him and pulled him by the ear. She said, you know, when I was a little girl and I got caught making ugly faces, they told me my face would freeze in that position. He said, well, teacher, you can't say you wasn't warned. He came into the kitchen where I was working the other night. He said, hey, Papa, can you help me with my homework? He said, my science project, I need to know where did the human race come from? Oh, I said, son, that's easy. You see, first, there were monkeys on the earth, and we evolved from the monkeys. He said, all right. So a few minutes later, I heard him go in the living room where my wife was. He said, hey, Mama, can you help me with my science project? I need to know where the human race came from. Oh, she said, sure, son. She said, first, God created Adam and Eve, and then we evolved from them. He said, I just asked Papa where we came from. He said we came from monkeys, and now you're telling me we came from Adam and Eve? My wife said, don't worry about it, son. Papa was telling you about his side of the family. I was telling you about Well, folks, I believe my time is up. It's time to get to a few awards. But I tell y'all what, I appreciate y'all tonight. But what a great crowd, too. Y'all great. Doesn't it feel good to laugh, too, right? Yeah. Sure, thank you. 'Cause it's true. You got to laugh. You got to let it out. I mean, it's a proven scientific medical fact that if you don't laugh, if you don't let it out, it turns to gas. And I hope I helped y'all with your gas problem tonight. And I do have, I'll mention this, some people do come up after and ask me if I have CDs and DVDs, and I did bring a few, and if anybody's interested and want to take it back to your home state, I'll be on the side of the stage later. You can come see me. And actually, I brought all of my CDs. I have Tom Jones' greatest hits. I got some. So y'all can come see me after. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. My name is Kent Gonsalon. God bless you.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Kent. The National Association of Conservation Districts is pleased to join with our conservation partners and award sponsors to honor individuals and districts who have made outstanding contributions to the conservation district movement here in the United States of America. Those receiving recognition have reached beyond their comfort zones to excel in many areas, and they truly deserve our praise. Mr. Garber, would you please come to the stage and present the awards? And Beth, can you also come and assist us? While they are making their way to the stage, let's take a moment to honor our award winners who have been recognized earlier during the conference. Would the following representatives please stand when introduced and remain standing? NCDEA Outstanding Conservation District Board Member Award, John Finch of Nash Soil and Water Conservation District, North Carolina. You all know him as a retiring Southeast Region Executive Board Member. Also, NCDEA Outstanding Conservation District Professional Employee Award winner, Peter Vigil of Taos Soil and Water Conservation District of New Mexico. Jason Weller, if you'd please join me on stage. Jason will also present the next award, one that is very close to many of our hearts.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's my honor to make the next award presentation, and that's for the Olin Sims National Conservation Leadership Award, a joint award shared by NACD and NRCS. As many of you know, Olin Sims was a past president of NACD and an avid, not just a leader in his state of Wyoming, a rancher, a conservationist, but also recognized as a national leader in conservation. So we make this award every year, annually, to recognize excellent leadership, of course, at the national level, but really importantly at the state and local level. And this individual, let me just read a little bit, if you bear with me here, some of the bona fides and why he was nominated and really, I think, fully embraced by the NACD leadership and the NRCS leadership as the example of all that is embodied in the Olin Sims Conservation Leadership Award. This individual is a lifetime farmer and rancher from Oklahoma. His second full-time job has been his service as executive director of the Oklahoma Conservation Commission in Oklahoma City for 17 years. To commute from his home over 100 miles away daily for so many years is a testimony of his dedication to conservation and agriculture. Under his leadership, Oklahoma's first state-funded cost share program became a reality in 1998, and since that time has helped hundreds of Oklahomans install conservation practices to improve water quality and reduce soil erosion. Oklahoma's first Conservation Reserve Program Enhancement Program, or CREP, was initiated in 2007, which has become the largest program to help protect non-point source water quality protection in the state's history. The National Watershed Coalition has awarded this individual with a Meritorious Service Award and in recognition of his exceptional leadership in helping to secure passage of the Small Watershed Amendments of 2000. He's also served as a member of the Noble County Community Board for the Agricultural Stabilization and Conservation Service, and as Vice Chairman of the Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating's Animal Waste and Water Quality Protection Task Force. He was also named a Water Pioneer at the 2014 Oklahoma Governor's Water Conference. The individual I'm talking about is Mike Thralls. I've had the honor on a personal note, I've gotten to know Mike over the years, not just with his leadership through the Oklahoma Conservation Commission and his great leadership in the state of Oklahoma, but crucially his leadership and his vision and passion for conservation nationally as president of NASCA, the National Association of State Conservation Agencies. And what Mike brought was his just country common sense, his country smarts, but really his savvy and his vision for what was needed to help advance the cause of conservation, and his tireless advocacy for you all, and for the partnership that's embodied in this room, and for stewards, of course, in Oklahoma, but for folks across the country. But it's really his humble approach, and I had a chance to share the stage with him earlier this past fall, actually late summer, at an event with Mike, as well as the governor of Oklahoma and Representative Frank Lucas, to celebrate one of Mike's great achievements, which is the implementation of the Small Watershed Rehabilitation Program. And we had an event in Oklahoma, and to see Mike in action, working with his people, working with the leadership of Oklahoma, it was clear Mike was just everything exemplified by the Olin Sims Award. Passionate, articulate, a real leader, and completely dedicated to conservation. Unfortunately, for medical reasons, Mike can't be with us tonight, but I'd like to invite up to the stage his family. His wife Donna and his son Derek are here to accept on his behalf the Olin Sims Award, so I'd like to welcome them up to the stage. Please come up, please. So this is going to be a short video that we're going to show about Mike, and then Mike's family is going to have a few words to share as well. So hold on a second.
Good evening. I'm humbled to receive this award, and at the same time very sorry that I haven't been able to get down to Louisiana and see all of my friends. Well, like many of you, I had the honor and the privilege of getting to know Olin personally. Of course, that's everybody that he met, you could say that about. He was a wonderful individual, great conservationist, tremendous leader, and it's a good thing that this organization has established this honor so that we'll remember him and the leadership that he portrayed. I am unable to be there tonight, but I have sent at least 3 of the individuals that have helped me with my success. My wife, Donna, 44 years, we've been married, and my youngest son and his wife, Derek and Crystal. I want to really convey my sincerest appreciation for this award. But you know, all achievements are really never accomplished by just yourself. I have many other people that deserve mention, and I'll try to keep it brief, but I'd be amiss if I didn't mention Bill Wilson from Oklahoma, former president of NACD, and our NASCA organization. The first guy that really I headed up with and who was a great mentor to me was our friend Randy Young. Of course, the folks back home have been a tremendous support and allowed me to do some activities in order to accomplish what conservation goals we've had. So, with no further talk, just let me say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I think Mike said it all, but he said I had to say a few words since I was coming up here. But as you can tell, he was very touched that NACD and NRCS chose him to receive the Olin Sims Conservation Leadership Award. Mike is very saddened that he could not be here tonight to receive this award. He also misses not being here to visit with all of his conservation friends. Unfortunately, Mike's battle against cancer has been unsuccessful, and he is at home on hospice. I ask that you keep him in your prayers. Working in the conservation field has meant so much to Mike, and as he said, he's always said that any success has never been done alone, but it took all the great people in conservation working together. Our son Derek and I are honored to receive this special award on his behalf tonight. Thank you all very much.
We will now present the NACD's top national awards. Conservation leaders across the nation are involved in incredible projects and programs. Tonight, we'd like to highlight two of the very best. The Friend of the Conservation Award recognizes a person or group not directly in the Conservation District family that has made a significant contribution to our work. This year's Friend of Conservation Award winner is Mr. Charlie Schaefer. As president of Agri-Drain Corporation, Charlie has been a longtime supporter of soil and water conservation in Iowa and across the United States. His company, Agri-Drain, has developed and improved innovative products and supported conservation contractors and landowners in their conservation work. Over the years, Charlie has supported the NACD as an exhibitor at the Conservation Expo, as a sponsor of the NACD's annual meeting, and by serving as the CTIC representative on the National Association of Conservation Districts Executive Board. As an industry representative, Charlie's participation on special committees and task forces has assisted in providing the NACD with a valuable industry perspective. In 2013 and in 2014, Charlie Schaefer and Agri-Drain have assisted the NACD in bringing up new conservation leaders by sponsoring the National Association of Conservation Districts annual meeting scholarships. Charlie continues to be a familiar face around NACD meetings and functions and is a very generous supporter of the NACD and conservation districts. Let's give him a hand once again. The NACD's Distinguished Service Award recognizes someone who has made significant contributions to the conservation of our natural resources. This year's winner is Don and Mary Jane Spickler of Washington County Soil Conservation Districts in Williamsport, Maryland. Mary Jane, will you please come to the stage to receive the award for you and your husband? Dawn and Mary Jane Spickler have been actively involved with conservation districts at the local, state, and national level for over 42 years. While Dawn advanced from serving on his local district board to state and national positions, Mary Jane advanced in her position of the involvement alongside him through the auxiliary, supporting the Soil and Water Stewardship Program and the National Association of Conservation Districts poster contest. However, it was in the role of trustee for the National Conservation Foundation that Dawn, along with Mary Jane, developed a vision for the National Envirothon. That one day it will expand internationally and that the foundation would have the funding mechanism for Envirothon as well as some of the NACD operations. They believed in this vision so wholeheartedly that they donated more than their time and their effort, but financially as well, to help make it a reality. Because of their dedication in teaching the next generation about conservation of our natural resources through Envirothon, today we find ourselves much closer to reaching that goal. Since Dawn's passing in the spring of 2014, Mary Jane is here to receive the award for both of them. Let's give them a hand one more time.
Well, on behalf of Mom and Dad, I wanted to make sure that everybody knew just how much this means to him, and it's how sweet it is for me to be able to see the friends of the conservation community, which he poured his heart into. So this has been a special time for me because of the simple fact that this community I didn't know much about. I left the farm about 30 years ago, and just to hear the sweet memories and to see the people and to know what kind of influence he had and the dedication he had to this organization, as well as taking care of the Mother Earth, is very precious. So I feel very blessed to be here, and with the utmost humility and gracious thanks, Mom and Dad accept this award with great thanks. Thank you.
Our final award of the night is the President's Award, and Mr. Garber will come forward and announce this year's winner.
You know, when you have a great team supporting you, it's very difficult to select one individual. But when I looked around at the support I was having, it was pretty clear to me that this particular individual was outstanding in supporting of my presidency. This individual is presently providing leadership on the local level. He is the vice chair of the Madison County Soil and Water Conservation District. On the state level, he provides on the State Association as a past president and the State Soil and Water Conservation Committee. And he is a member of the South Central region of that state on that committee. This individual has the leadership skills to be a national leader for NACD. He presently serves as the North Central Executive Board member. He chairs the NACD Human Resources Committee and is responsible for a revision and a review of that whole handbook. Co-chairs the Natural Resource Policy Committee. He co-chaired the NACD Waters Task Force. He chaired the Bylaw Review Special Committee. He chaired the Auction Committee. And he represents NACD on the CTIC board. When I researched the NACD website, I also realized that Tim participated in a soil health webinar. He represented NACD at the USDA when we had the presentation of the CIG grant. And he even provided a testimonial on how important this meeting is to our membership out there. He never said no to my request. Now, he may have had influence on how I directed my request for his service to NACD, but he never said no. He always called to my attention any concerns he had for NACD and how we were doing things, but he always had a solution, recommendation as to how we could do this if he didn't see things being done how he thought it should be. And if you wonder if Tim is conservation-minded, just Google Tim Palmer in Iowa, and you'll get the Iowa Learning Forum with Iowa State University, and Tim is a partner with them. Tim began farming with his dad and has continued to do so for the past 40 years. He grows corn, soybean, oats, and hay on his farm near Turo in Madison County. He also raises beef cattle to market. The theme of his site is building a culture of conservation. We need to do all we can to provide for the future. I would like for Mr. Tim Palmer to come up to receive the President's Award.
Tim is also a great interview as well. Had a chance to interview him earlier this week. Congratulations, Tim. It's my honor to introduce to you once again Mr. Earl Garber. He has another presentation to make.
You know, as we put this convention together, the Louisiana group has always been very supportive of me. But there's one gentleman from Louisiana that has pretty much been my mentor and has supported me all the way through, all the way. That's all I can say. Conservation has been his life. I don't know, it must be 50 years by now. And he's still going. And he's kind of like the ever-ready bunny, you know, he just keeps going. So I felt like we had to give him special recognition here tonight for all he did to assist me, NACD staff, and you to put this convention on and all of the logistics that it took to get it done here in the state of Louisiana. So at this time, I'd like for Mr. Brad Spicer to come up. And we're going to give him a special appreciation plaque. This plaque is in appreciation of your unparalleled performance and exemplary dedication in support of the conservation activities in planning and implementation for the 2015 NACD meeting program. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Earl.
Appreciate it. Take a comment or two.
I'd like to thank Earl and NACD. This is quite an honor to receive this recognition tonight, but like Mike said earlier, you just don't do this alone. There's a lot of folks that support you and your efforts to achieve what you're doing for others, and I want to thank them. On behalf of them, I'll accept this tonight. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please give all of our award winners one more hearty round of applause. I'd like to say thanks to the NACD board members, President Earl Garber, President-elect Mr. McDaniel, who I'm going to introduce next, but thank you guys for allowing me to be here from the great state of Colorado. First time in New Orleans, and I had a blast with my wife, so thank you. I'd like to ask President-elect Lee McDaniel to come up on stage for the NACD Leadership Recognition. But thank you guys once more. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Brian. We really appreciate all of your help tonight. Let's give Brian another round of applause. Before I officially take on my duties as your new president, I want to take a few minutes to recognize Earl and his commitment to serving as NACD's president for the past 2 years. Earl, if you and Janice could please come up and join us on stage. You're already here, Earl. No, he doesn't. He left. Janice said, no wonder we're tired. But Earl, 2 years ago you were elected president and you inherited a team of rookies. All your officers were new to you. The executive board was almost all new to you. And not only have you had to be the leader and the president of this organization 2 years, but you've also been the mentor, and you're going to leave me with the veteran teams. So thank you very much for that. I'd like to present you with a few things here. We've got the gavel. We understand you've been trying to take an elk hunting trip for the last 2 years and have been kind of tied up with NACD business and have not been able to do that. So what the NACD would like to do is give you this gift certificate to help offset some of those elk hunting costs for your trip this year.
I'm gonna get to dust my gun off.
And finally, I'd like to present you with this memory album for your, now that you have so much leisure time, you'll be able to review it. Earl, would you like to say a few words?
Well, after you've trained me for the last 6 years, I can't pass up saying a few words. It's what comes with the territory. You know, I've been thanking you all week, but it has been an honor to represent the National Association of Conservation Districts. It really adds to what you stand for out there, to be a supervisor, to be a part of this organization. It has amazed me what it has done as to how individuals in the community look at the service that we provide. And I just never dreamed that it would open the doors that it has opened for me to meet the people that I've met, to be able to do the things that I've done, and to be able to travel across the country and meet so many good people. I would tell the officers all the time, I said, the easy part of this job is going to the state meetings, because you meet so many good people. You hear so many good things that are going on in conservation out there. It just was a pleasure, and I wouldn't tell that to the individuals that I work with at the seed company, but it was a pleasure to leave to go meet you guys on the state level, I will tell you that. So, but thank you for all the support, because it is, I've said it from the start, it is all about a team. Louisiana has stayed behind me, and everybody stayed behind me all the way through this effort, so thank you very much. Thank you, Lee. And now I have one more task to take care of before I officially hand over my title of president. I would like to honor the NACD leadership and those who have volunteered their time and faithfully served, and those who will dedicate their energy, the ones coming in, and help guide NACD in the months and the years to come. We'd first like to begin by recognizing our retiring NACD executive board members and officers. With the following folks, please join us on the stage. Mr. John Finch, the Southeast Region Executive Board Member. Mr. John McDonald, the Pacific Executive Board Member. Mr. Leonard Genesi, CTIC Board Member. And Mr. Charlie Schaefer. Charlie is coming up because as they changed board members, we were in between conventions, so we would surely want to catch up on Charlie on his time he served on the CTIC, the board with us. So Charlie, come on up. And now I would like for the new executive board team to please come forward up to the stage. Mr. Jim Harrell with the Southeast Region was unable to be with us, but we'll catch up with him later to get him sworn in. Mr. Wade Troutman with the Pacific Region. Mr. Ron Brown, the Northern Plains Region. Ms. Kim LaFleur, the Northeast Region. Mr. Rick Jeans, the South Central Region. Mr. Tim Palmer, the North Central Region. And Mr. Sean Sims from the Southwest had to go to a meeting a little early, so we're going to catch up with him also. Okay, you ready? Repeat after me. I, and state your name. Promise to uphold the bylaws of the National Association of Conservation Districts.
Promise to uphold the bylaws of the National Association of Conservation Districts.
And faithfully serve as a member of the NACD Executive Board.
And faithfully serve as a member of the NACD Executive Board.
Congratulations. Welcome to the team. So, before I do some further recognition and call up the officer team, there's one other individual that's retiring. And he has really been a tremendous support to me, both as an officer and the president. The position of immediate past president sometimes can be taken for granted. But this individual he didn't take it that way. He took it on like it meant something to him, it meant something to me, and it meant something to the officer team in NACD. So I want to call Gene Schmidt up as a retiring officer individually so we can thank him for what he's done.
Folks, I can't tell you what a treat it truly has been. And it's no different than what Earl shared with you. Have I shared with most anybody that I've ever been with? Said, what are you doing? This is because of the opportunity to meet some of the best people in the world. Thank you so very much for that opportunity.
And now we would like to recognize the regional chairs. So if we have any of the regional chairs in here tonight, I'd ask that they please stand up so we can give them a round of applause. So all of you that are going to be serving as regional chairs. Thank you for your service and look forward to the next couple of years. Next, I'd like to take a minute to recognize all the new NACD board members and alternates. So if we have new members that have served this year on the board for the first time at this convention, would you please stand? Got a few of them in the back. Thank you for your service. And now it's time to announce the NACD officer team. Would you please make your way up to the stage, the new team, as I call your name? And of course, Mr. Lee McDaniel, President. Mr. Brent Van Dyke, First Vice President. Mr. Richard Went, Second Vice President. And Mr. John McDonald, Secretary Treasurer. Welcome, John. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, and state your name. Promise to uphold the bylaws of the National Association of Conservation Districts. And to faithfully carry out the duties of the office. Congratulations. Give them a hand. These gentlemen will serve as your 2015 and 16 officer team. You want a shot with? Please stay, and the others can exit. Lee, I'm going to turn it over to you to make some comments, if you would.
Thank you, Earl. I've got a lot of support here from my home state. I'd like to recognize a few folks. My wife, Connie, my 3 children, Amanda, Patty, and Lee. If you'd please stand up and be recognized. From my home conservation district, the Harford Soil Conservation District, I'd like my fellow supervisors to stand up, Frank Richardson and Andrea Rigdon. Our district manager, Bill Tharp, and district secretary, Peggy Jazelski. And I think we have several tables full of folks from Maryland that came down to support me. So if they would all stand up to be recognized as well. This is my backbone here. You know, Earl's been a great leader. I have big shoes to fill, but I'm confident with the support that I have from and what I've heard from all you folks out there, and you've heard it before, you can't do it by yourself. It's the folks that help you out and back you up are the ones that make you successful. So thank you very much for that, and I think we have a lot to look forward to. I'm not going to get into too much of the political stuff here. I think this is a time of celebration for both Earl and the folks in Louisiana and my folks from Maryland as well. Thank you.
Lee, please stay with me. We have some young ladies that'd like to come up and give a token of appreciation from Louisiana. So.
Mr. Earl, on behalf of LACDE, we would like to thank you for all that you have done for NACD, LACD, and the Employees Association of Louisiana. We appreciate you and we love you.
And Mr. Lee McDaniel, we look forward to working with you throughout the year. Louisiana is a great state, and we're a great bunch of people, and we really look forward to working with you. And Miss Connie, we're going to need your support also throughout the coming years. But congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Now, we know that Mr. Lee is not from Louisiana. Maryland is a great state. They have different spices up there, right?
None. They don't have any spices, Ro.
So,
just give it to 'em.
Mr. Lee, as a token of our appreciation, we have a lot of Louisiana spices for you to enjoy in the coming year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Gonna miss you.
Congratulations.
We've got a spice in Maryland called Old Bay. I think we're going to have to send some down here to Louisiana.
Well, thank you, and I hope everyone has enjoyed the meeting as much as I have, and I hope that you mark your calendars for the 2016 annual meeting, January 30th through the 3rd in Reno, Nevada. We're going to be staying at a beautiful, newly renovated Grand Sierra Resort. We've been able to secure some fantastic rates. It's hard to believe what they're offering us. They built to do this. Really, really good rates. So we've prepared a short video here to give you an idea of what you would be experiencing there. So can we roll the video? So ladies and gentlemen, make sure and mark your calendar and be with us next year at Reno at this time of the year. In behalf of Louisiana, thank you for coming to this annual meeting. Enjoy the evening and tomorrow's breakout and have a great time. Thank you.